Put your feet into Tadasana. Lift your shoulders up, roll them back, roll your shoulder blades down. Isometrically turn, drag your feet toward each other. Rotate your upper inner thighs inward. Now tuck your tailbone under so you tilt your pelvis back. Take the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. They'll tuck your chin in just a little bit. Your hands can be rotated forward or they can be down by your side. It really doesn't matter. It really depends on how your elbows are connected. And then just breathe in and out through your nose. By the way, my name is Clint, and this is Ashtanga Yoga. To experiment with your breath, open your eyes, and then what I'd like you to do is take a real quick deep breath in through your mouth and then exhale it through your mouth after just a second. The biggest you can. And see how much air you brought in. And then, now close your mouth and then take a quick breath, but a full breath to fill up your belly through your nose. And then wait a moment and then exhale as fast as you can through your nose, all the way. So, and you probably discovered that it takes a lot more time to fill up your lungs when you breathe in through your nose. What that does is it builds pressure inside your lungs so that there's more air because you're under more pressure. And what that does, that gives your lungs a 10 to 20% more absorption rate of oxygen. And that's why you want to breathe in and out through your nose. Through your mouth seems to be quicker. And when you're gasping for air, when you are running or doing something really that tests you, sometimes you have to breathe through your mouth just to get a lot of gulps in. But anyway, breathe in and out through your nose. Now allow your eyes to close. Tighten your mula bandha. Those are your pelvic floor muscles. Try to draw your sit bones and your anus together really tight. That will begin to build some heat in your body. And now add the Uddiyana bandhas, those lower abdomen muscles between your navel and your pubic bone. You can probably already feel the heat coming. Now keep that engaged, keep both those engaged, and come up to the Jalandhara bandha. That's your glottis in the back of your throat with that little tab that hangs down just in front of your vocal cords. Close that off somewhat so that your breath starts to feel and sound like Darth Vader. This will remind you to tighten your bandhas. And when your bandhas are tightened, you can normally get into a pose a little bit deeper. Plus, it continues to build heat. But there's a lot to think about during our practice. From here, inhale your arms up overhead, gaze up at your fingertips, and then bring your arms out and down. Inhale your arms up again. A little bit of a back bend, gaze up at your fingertips, and then bring them back down by your side. One more time. Inhale, arms up overhead, and then back down by your side. Another time, inhale, arms up overhead. Right hand grabs your left wrist. Bring your weight into your left foot. And then begin to bend to the right. You can push that left hip out to the left. That'll help you gain a little bit more of a side bend. Maybe you want to look up at the eye of your elbow. Just make sure that you're not twisting forward. Inhale, come all the way back up. Left hand to right wrist. Weight into the right foot. And then side bend left. Gaze up at the eye of this elbow. And feel the stretch all the way from your wrist down to your right hip. Maybe even down to your foot. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, hands out and down, swan dive all the way over into forward fold, but bend your knees a lot. From here, over the next few breaths, with every inhale, straighten your legs. And then exhale, forward fold a little bit more. So you're acting like a pump. Gently stretching your hamstrings. Now you can grab onto the backs of your ankles if that helps. On your next inhale, come up halfway, gaze forward at the horizon. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise your arms out and up overhead, and hands to Namaskuras. Okay, so we'll do one more of those forward folds, and then we'll go into the first Namaskura A, where I'll slow it down for the Chaturanga. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Pause here. Straightenish those legs. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead, and hands to Namaskuras. Okay, now stepping towards the front of your mat. For Namaskura A, this will be the normal. Come into Tadasana. Inhale, your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. And pause here for a moment. Normally, you step back into plank and immediately you go into Chaturanga, which you come forward and down. And you hover. And then inhale, lift your chest over straight arms into up dog. And then exhale, push your hips up and back into down dog. And you can walk out your dog. And 5, look between your hands, hop, step, or jump to the front, forward fold. Inhale up halfway, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out and up overhead, and hands to Namaskuras. An alternative to the normal Namaskura A, you can use blocks. Have the blocks next to your feet. Come into Tadasana. And you don't need to use the blocks. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to your blocks. Step back carefully into table. From here, come down onto your knees, chest, and chin. That would all be in one motion. From here, your hands are right next to your breasts, which is the perfect position. And then on the inhale, when others will be doing up dog, just lift your chest. Doesn't have to be super high, but the intent is to get a back bend here and stretch your shoulders, stretch your spine, and keep your shoulder blades on your back. And then on an exhale, come back with your hips over your heels into child's pose for 5 breaths. And 5, inhale, come back up into table, step forward into forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, and hands to Namaskuras. Now, if you'd rather not come up again at the start when we're doing multiple vinyasas, you don't have to. And when we do the Namaskura bead, you'll see an option there. So 2 more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Five, look between your hands. Hop, step, or jump into forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. Hands to Namaskuras. You can do this either way that you want. I will call out the alternative. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to table. And down, knees, chin, and chest. Inhale up to up dog or cobra. Exhale, hips back into child's pose or up into down dog. In 5, look between your hands, come up into table. Step forward into forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. And hands to Namaskuras. For Namaskura B, it will be different. Namaskura B, the alternative is first. And you won't be going down onto the mat. You'll be doing some warrior ones for an extended period of time. But from here, come to Namaskuras. On your next inhale, drop your seat, raise your hands up into chair. Exhale over straight legs, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take your left foot back into a long, low lunge. Turn that left foot out like you're coming into warrior one. Inhale, lift your arms up into warrior one. Exhale, rotate your hands and your chest forward. Rotate your hands out behind you. Inhale, your arms all the way back up to warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your left foot forward, right foot back into warrior 1 feet. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands and chest forward. Rotate your hands to the back. That's an exhale. Inhale, your arms all the way back up to warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step forward, left, right to meet the left. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, back down. Come all the way up and hands to Samasthiti. Now you are about 1 breath behind the others who did the regular version with all the other vinyasas. But be sure that you'll be there when you need to be. You just get a little bit less rest. From here, inhale, your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot out, right foot forward. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot out. Step left foot forward. Inhale, arms up, warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Down halfway. Up dog. And then down dog. And rest here for 5 breaths. Right about now, if you're doing the alternative, you are standing in Samasthiti. You can stretch, shake out, whatever. 4, 5, look between your hands, hop, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale up halfway, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out and up overhead, and hands to Samasthiti. Pause here for a moment. Let me catch up. I did not put my electronics to work, but there they go. From here, inhale. Okay, we're back to the standing poses. So inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Grab your big toes in Padadasana. From here, raise your chest up, putting tension on your arms, your shoulders, your wrists. And then exhale, forward fold. 4, 5, release. Inhale, come up halfway, gaze at the horizon. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, and hands to Samasthiti. This is Pashmatasana. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, gaze at the horizon. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your palms underneath the soles of your feet. Maybe your toes touch your wrist crease. Maybe not. Inhale, lift your chest. Tension being placed into your wrists, in your shoulders. And then drop your head back down and just keep that tension going. Try to straighten your legs. 4 and 5. Release. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And hands to Samasthiti. From here, you have an option of doing, you can stay up here in Tadasana. In fact, I'll take you through a no mat vinyasa. From here, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Come all the way back up. And I lied.
You're the same guy.
That was, I'm sorry, that was supposed to be. Anyway, I messed that up. You can just stay up here, but do the forward folds as the rest of us are doing the vinyasa. Just to keep building the heat, for those of you who didn't do the vinyasa, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Four. And 5. Look between your hands. Hop, step, jump to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, and hands to Namaskuras. Second standing pose is triangle. So from here, take a giant step back with your left. Left foot goes out towards the side of your mat. Right toes stay forward, arms out into T. Rotate your chest and your hips towards the side of your mat. Tuck or bump your butt out a little bit. And then from here, drop that front hip and tip your triangle. Now, the object with triangle, as I've said a few times before, is to get your shoulder blades vertical. So lean back, fall back. It's far more important than getting your hand to the floor, because this is a twist. 4, 5. Inhale, rise back up. Rotate your feet to the other side. Drop that left hip. Gaze off towards your fingers, and then tip that triangle. Coming down, right arm going up, and again, lean back, fall back. 4 and 5. Inhale all the way back up. Rotate your feet. This time, step that left foot in about 1 step. Arms still out into T. This is going to be revolved triangle. This is another big twist. From here, rotate your left arm to the front, right arm to the back. Your chest should be straining to come to the right. And from here, drop that front hip and lower that left shoulder, left hand down on the outside of your right leg. Your legs are straightish. 5. Inhale, rise back up. Windmill your arms. Rotate your feet. Now adjust your feet. From here, rotate your shoulders. Right arm behind, left arm towards the front of your mat. And then on an exhale, tip into rotated or revolved triangle. One side may be better than the other. 4 and 5. Release. Windmill your arms back up. Rotate your feet towards the front of the mat. Step forward into Namaskuras. Have another vinyasa. If you choose not to do the vinyasa, at least do the forward folds. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Come down halfway. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. And walk this out. 4 and 5. Look between your hands. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. Hands to Namaskuras. Side angle. So on an exhale, giant step back with your left. Bend that front knee. Bring your arms up into T, into warrior 2. From here, check your hips, making sure that your hips are square to the side. And then from here, begin to lower your left forearm to the top of your right thigh, or you can just keep that arm straight, come all the way down onto the floor inside your foot, and take that left arm out and overhead, reaching for the corner of your ceiling in your wall. Straight line from your left toes to your left fingers. 5, inhale, come all the way back up. Straight legs. Rotate your feet towards the back of the mat. Bend that left knee, coming into warrior 2 on the left side. So from here, on an exhale, same thing on the left. Side angle, that arm either comes all the way down or it rests on your thigh. Right arm tries to make a straight line. Your shoulders try to be vertical. 4, 5, inhale. Come all the way up. Rotate your feet towards the front. Step your left foot forward about 1 step, and maybe even change your toes so that they're pointed forward. Bend that front knee. Rotate your shoulders so that your left arm is forward. Then on an exhale, lower that left hand down on the outside of that right leg in revolved side angle. 4, 5, inhale. Rise all the way back up. Rotate your feet. Adjust your feet. Your right foot has to come a little bit farther to the right. You can change your foot and your toes so that they both point backward. From here, rotate your arms. Bend that left knee. On an exhale, come into revolved side angle. The left arm can be up overhead, can be back behind your back. 3, 4. Try bending that front knee a little bit more. 5. Inhale, rise all the way up. Windmill your arms. Feet towards the front of the mat. Step forward into Namaskuras. From here, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Walk out your dog here. Maybe put your feet on the outside edges of your mat. Experiment what works best for you. And 5, look between your hands. Hop, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, and hands to Namaskuras. From here, take a giant step back with your left foot. Both toes face towards the side of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips. Coming into Prasarita, the series of A, B, C, and D. I love the uniqueness of those names. Inhale, chest high. Then exhale, forward fold. Continuously coming all the way over. And when you feel the need, bring your hands down to the mat or beneath your face to prevent a face plant. And with each breath, try to go a little bit farther by relaxing your thighs and your calves. Inhale, come halfway up. Bring your hands to your hips. Then on an inhale, use the strength of your legs to rise all the way up. This time, bring your hands onto the back of your glutes so that just your fingertips touch the side of your pelvis. You're trying to draw your elbows together. Inhale, chest high, and exhale, forward fold. This time, keeping your hands where they are. Try to draw your shoulders together, your elbows together. 3, 4. Try to lengthen out your breath. And 5. On your next inhale, use the strength of your legs and your arms to rise back up. Bring your arms out into T. Lift your chest high, gaze up. And then on an exhale, well, first, bring your arms behind your back. Interlace your fingers the way that doesn't feel right. Last week you did this the normal way. This way I want you to be a little bit more uncomfortable. Push your hands down, drawing your palms together if they get there. Lift your chest high, and your shoulder blades are really kissing now. And then on an exhale, forward fold. Keeping your shoulder blades kissing. Rise up. Maybe your hands can come up towards the ceiling. Maybe they can come all the way over towards the wall in front of your toes. 4, 5. On your next inhale, use the strength of legs and your arms. Pull yourself back up. From here, bring your arms out into T, palms up, chest up, gaze up. And then on an exhale, forward fold again. Your arms stay out wide, either on your legs. And as you get closer, maybe you can grab onto your big toes, sink the crown of your head down towards the mat. Maybe you can use your arms to draw your head down a little bit more. 4 and 5. Release, bring your hands to your hips. Then on an inhale, rise all the way back up. From here, heel toe your feet in, or if you wish, you can just hop your feet together. Step to the front of your mat. From here, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, up into down dog. 4, and 5. Look between your hands, hop, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, arms overhead and hands to Samastitihi. Now we have probably my least favorite Ashtanga poses, and that's Uttita Padagustasana. That's fingers to toes extended. So from here, at the top of your mat, come to Tadasana. Your weight into your left foot, bend your right knee. Bend that knee. Grab your big toe with your right hand, and then begin to stretch that foot towards the front of the mat. Now you can use a strap here if you wish. Keep your spine straight. And 5. Now, maybe you can just swing it over to the right. Maybe, maybe not. I have a real difficult time with that. But regardless, bring that right leg out to the side. You can grab onto the back of your thigh if you don't have a strap handy. That's okay. Do what you need to keep balanced, but keep your spine straight. Use this as a balance pose as well as a groin opener. This is also strengthening your abductors. And then down. Step that out. And then from here, bring your hands to your hips. You're in Tadasana, but hands on hips. Weight into your left foot. Lift your right foot 1 inch. And on an inhale, bring that right foot up. Wave your toes at me. And 5, release. Step that out. Okay, this is Uttita Padagustasana on the left. So, start in Tadasana. Bend that left knee, weight into the right foot. Grab that left big toe and straighten that left leg forward. Get it as far as you can and then straighten your spine and see if that doesn't lengthen your leg just a little bit. Right arm can be anywhere. And 5. Maybe you can bring that leg out to the left on its own, maybe not. Maybe use your left arm to help support it out to the left. 3, 4, and 5. Step that down, back into Tadasana. And now the last evil part of this pose. In Tadasana, weight into your right foot, lift your left 1 inch. Inhale that left foot forward. Keep your spine straight. You can lean back, but really push that heel away. 4, and 5, release. Step that up. I guarantee this will be a really fun vinyasa. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to mat. Step or jump back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I find this vinyasa after Uttita Padagustasana really satisfying because it counters
all the pose, all that the standing pose required to stretch. Look between your hands, hop, step, or jump. Front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. And hands to Samastitihi. This is the last standing pose here. So from here, take your left foot back. Keep your feet in line, but this is waterfall. So don't take a huge step backward. This is going to stretch your Achilles on your left and your quads on the right. From here, bring your arms behind your back. If you can bring your palms together, that's great. If not, that's okay too. Inhale, chest high. And exhale, forward fold. Trying to keep that right leg straightish. Your hamstrings may object, but do what you can. 4, 5, release, come back up. Reverse your legs to the back. Adjust your feet. The right foot has to be to the right of your left. Inhale, chest high. Exhale, forward fold. And see if this leg is any different. And see if you can figure out why. Maybe because you're much more muscular on your right side. Maybe that you do more flexible things with your left foot. And 5. Inhale, rise back up. Rotate your feet to the front, step to the front. From here, come back into Tadasana. Going to do tree pose. So from here, on an inhale, bring your weight into your left foot, right knee up. Rotate that right knee out to the side. Then bring that right footprint to your calf, to your thigh. You can stay on the mat. Your hands can be in Anjali Mudra, palms together, or they can be wide, whatever way keeps you vertical. If you want to raise your arms up, grow your branches, and then your branches help you keep your balance. That's good. And then exhale, release. Right foot down, back into Tadasana. Step it out a little bit. And then bring your hands to your hips. Bend that left knee. Swing that left knee out. And bring that left foot, sole of that left foot into your thigh or your calf, but not your knee. If the foot is partially above and below the knee, make sure that all the weight is either above or below. You do not want to bend that knee joint in that direction. Calm your mind. Calm your breath. Tuck your tailbone under a little bit. And then on your next exhale, release. Step that out. Come to the front of your mat. This will be the last vertical vinyasa. So inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And when you finish this dog, if it's within your practice, you can always hop forward directly into a seated pose. And 5, release. Bring your knees down. Come on to your favorite hip. Come to the front of your mat with your feet. Come all the way out into Dandasana, seated pose. Bring your palms to the mat. Lift your chest high. If your knees are still bent a little bit, maybe just move your hands back a little bit farther. Your spine will still be straight, just won't be vertical, but push your heels away. Bring your shoulder blades together. 4 and 5. Release. Now to bump. Get a pair of blocks. If your arms are not real long, put them alongside your hip. Cross your ankles. Raise your knees high in towards your chest and give it a try to bump up. On an inhale, push down, lift up, and then come back down. Bring your legs out in front. Inhale your spine tall, and on an exhale, forward fold. Coming into Pashmatasana. That is hands to toes. So grab the tops of your feet. Maybe you can reach your toes, maybe not. But use your strength to draw your collarbones closer to your toes. 4, 5, release. Sit all the way back up. Inhale, your spine tall, and exhale, forward fold. This time reaching for the outer part of your feet or make a bind across the bottom. And then forward fold. Again, drawing your collarbones forward. Lengthening your spine. You should be feeling this in both your hamstrings and your spine. 4, 5, release. Inhale, come back up. Cross your ankles, bring them in close to your chest. Your knees up close to your chest. And when you're ready, pump up. And then down. Move your blocks aside. Bring your hands behind your hips. Bring your footprints out in front with your knees bent. From here, on an inhale, lift your hips up towards the ceiling into reverse table. From here, isometrically, drag your heels towards your hands. You'll find your hips want to rise. Push your knees towards the front of the room. Your hips will want to rise. And then on an exhale, lower back down. Cross your ankles again. Knees high, and when you're ready, bump. Come back down. From here, we'll have Janu Sirsasana. And Janu, start with both legs out in front, bend your left knee, bring your left sole into the center, into the side of your right thigh. Inhale your spine tall, and exhale, forward fold, and reach for the toes of your right foot. Notice that left knee going down the more you go out. In 5, release, inhale, sit back up straight. Inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. This time, see if you can make a bind across the bottom of that right foot. Again, your collarbones want to go towards your foot. 4, 5, release. Inhale, come back up. Left foot out, bend your right knee. Right foot into your left thigh. Inhale, tall. And exhale, forward fold over your left foot. You'll see how different this side is. Try to grab onto the top of that foot, because as you're pulling on your toes and the ball of that foot, you are exercising and strengthening and stretching your ankle joint, which is what you were doing in the balance poses too. In 5, release. Inhale, come all the way back up. Inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. Grab across the bottom of your foot if you can. Try to draw your collarbone or shoulder blades down as your collarbones come forward. And 5, release. Inhale, come back up. Bend that left leg. Cross your ankles in next to your hips. Ready to bump. Whenever you inhale, bump up. And then come back down. Next pose is 3 Marichis. So start with your legs out long. Push your heels away. Now bend your right knee. Bring your right heel up towards your right sit bone so that you have at least a fist width between your left thigh and your heel. And you have maybe 4 inches at least between your sit bone and your heel. From here, lengthen up. The first pose is just a forward fold to get your right shoulder in front of that right knee. Inhale up and exhale, forward fold. Left hand reaches for the left toes. Your right shoulder wants to get in front of that right knee. You can grab onto your right foot and help draw your shoulder forward. Or if you're already there, just reach around that right knee and draw that knee in towards your rib cage. And 5, release. Keep the bind on your right side. Inhale, lift your spine tall. Left hand comes behind your back. And then on an exhale, twist to the left from your hip crease. And with every exhale, maybe you can go just a little bit farther. Drop that left shoulder blade. And you'll see you get a little bit more space when you do that. And 5, release. Turn back to the front. Grab your right knee with your left hand. Bring your right hand behind your back. Inhale your spine tall. Your right hand is on the floor as a kickstand. Inhale, and then on an exhale, twist to the right. Again from the hip crease. Every inhale, you lengthen up. Every exhale, you twist more. Try to drop that right collar or shoulder blade. And 5, release. Turn back to center. Right foot goes out to meet the left. Bend the left knee. Bring that left knee in towards your left sit bone. From here, going to start with the forward fold, and this side may be different. You may be able to get your shoulder partially in front of that left knee. Inhale tall, and then fold forward, reaching for your right toes. Draw your collarbones forward. Engage your bandhas here. And 5. Keep your left arm and hand where they are. Inhale, rise back up. Bring your right hand behind your hips, spine tall. And then on an exhale, twist to the right, keeping both sit bones on the mat. You may be able to reach that right hand behind your back and make a bind with the left hand, which is coming from in front of your left knee. That's still the dream for me. And then on your next exhale, release, come forward. Bring your chest forward and high. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind your hips. Inhale tall, and then exhale, twist to the left. In 5, release. Left leg goes all the way out to meet the right. Bend your knees, cross your ankles up close to your hips. Bring your blocks if you need them. And if you want to bump, do another bump. Come back down. From here, we have time for Vadakanasana, which is butterfly, 2 versions. So the first one, get your feet, your soles of your feet together, a comfortable distance in front. Sit upright so that your spine is really tall. Tuck your chin so that the crown of your head goes up. And then on an exhale, begin to come forward. And when you can, grab onto your feet and draw your collarbones towards the wall beyond your feet, not down, but beyond. You're not trying to round your spine, you're trying to keep your spine long and straight here. You can really feel this in your groins. Maybe you can use your elbows to push your ankles down a little bit. And 5, release, inhale, come all the way back up. This time, move your feet out a little bit more, maybe 8 or 10 inches or the length of your foot. One foot first and then the other. Now this might be a real diamond, which is fine. And now inhale your spine tall again. And then on an exhale, forward fold. You can grab onto your toes. You can bring your forearms underneath your ankles, your palms down. If you wish, I guess your palms can be up also. But if your palms are down, your shoulder blades will be drawn down towards your hips, which is really a good thing. Take your collarbones towards the front of the mat. This is not a resting pose. This is a yan pose. If you want a resting pose, do my yin classes. 3, 4, and 5. Release. Free up your arms, free up your feet. Cross your ankles. Bring them in right next to your sit bones. Raise your knees high. And when you're ready, the bump, bump. And then come back down. Now coming into Lotus, if that's within your practice, and this is not anything great that you have to do. It may be something that you can do, but to start, you bring your right heel up and set it on your left hip crease. Make sure that there's no sensation at all in your right knee. You may need a little bit of a support underneath your left knee, but then grab that right foot and maybe you can lift it up over that right ankle and bring that in towards your right hip crease. Now this is doing nothing to your knees. This is your femur twisting in your hip socket. So from here, the first pose, bring your hands behind your back. If you can make Anjali Mudra behind your back, that'd be great. If not, just grab opposite elbows or opposite forearms like me. Inhale your spine tall, and on an exhale, forward fold. And feel the difference, what's going on in your hips, in your core, in your thighs. Your collarbones are going towards the far wall. And 5, release. Keep your feet where they are. Inhale, come back up. If your knees start to bother you, just go into a cross-legged Sukhasana. That is perfectly acceptable. That is every bit as important as this pose. From here, second phase of this is just to bring your hands out, rest them on your knees. You can make a mudra with your thumb and forefingers, straightish arms with your elbows high. This is kind of a peace offering. Inhale your spine tall, touch your chin just a little bit. And then just breathe for 10 breaths and see how slowly you can get your breath going. Three, your shoulder blades should be down towards your hips. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Open your eyes. One more pose, and that is to stay in this lotus pose and maybe bump up for 100 breaths or whatever you can do. I find every week it's different for me. Doesn't make it better or worse, it's just different. Your body is different every day, so why shouldn't your bump ups? And then when you're ready, on an inhale, bump up. and then down. To free yourself up, be very gentle, releasing that left leg first. And then your right. Stretch out both legs to the front of your mat slowly and just feel how your body is responding to that pose. You may feel a little bit different temperature. You may feel something else going on. But keep observing as you come down onto your elbows and then all the way back down onto your back. And again, keep noticing your legs and your hip sockets. Those were the places that you were moving the most. Inhale your arms up towards the ceiling and then towards the wall beyond your head. Push your heels away and your palms away. Stretching the backs of your body, backs of your calves, and then your toes to your fingers, stretching the front body parts. If you want to do an inversion or something on your own, go ahead. Otherwise, just bring your arms forward, lay them down on your mat, or they can be off to the side. It's really what's best for your body right now to recover. You can draw your shoulder blades underneath your chest. You can rock your knees one way or another. Get your sacrum comfortable on your mat. And then when you're ready, take a deep cleansing breath in through your nose and let it all out through your nose. Take another deep cleansing breath in through your nose, out through your nose, and take rest. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your space. Bring movement to your fingers, into your toes, to your wrists, and to your ankles. Gently roll your head from left to right. And when you're ready, walk your footprints up towards your sit bones. Draw your knees into your chest. Push your hips away. And rock all the way from your left hip and left shoulder to right hip and right shoulder. And feel that massage of your entire spine and your muscles that support it. And then come all the way over onto your right side and use your right arm as a pillow. And pause there for a moment and do a quick body scan to notice if there's tension remaining anywhere in your body. And make a note of that for your next practice to address. And if you let me know, I may be able to incorporate a pose or two to accommodate. And then using your left hand, push the floor away. Rise up into a seated position. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this afternoon. Ashtanga gives my body the added focus that a strong practice delivers. It enhances the compassion and the empathy I practice. And gets my whole body in a more peaceful mode for the rest of the week to come. Life is short, and there's not enough time to bring gladness to the hearts of those who travel with us. So be quick to love and make haste to be kind. Namaste. My name is Clint, and this has been Ashtanga Yoga.